And who might you be?
You stuck-up, half-witted, scruffy-looking nerf herder. I love you.
I know.
Hello everyone and welcome to the first unboxing video. Today we will be doing Allies of Necessity, the first force pack from the opposition cycle, and to show you that this is real, I haven't taken these out of the wrapping yet. So for nostalgia purposes, the best thing I always found when getting a new packs was opening these up, and the smell of FFG cardstock was quite intoxicating. You knew you were in for a special show, so I'm going to attempt to open these quickly. Meanwhile, yeah, like I say, this is the first in a new line of unboxing videos, and here we go. So this first pack was the introduction of the new affiliation cards, and from keeping tabs on the gaming community, I know these haven't exactly these might have caused a bit of an issue here and there. So we've got those ones and these ones. So for those who don't know, so in the game you have affiliation cards. The standard affiliation cards just gives you a resource and a reserve value, and just usually gives you the phases of the game. It's like a bit of a guide, but your affiliation transpires to provide a resource for that particular affiliation. So in the game there are sets that are restricted to affiliations. So if it says that it's like a Jedi only, then you always have to have a Jedi affiliated card. So it sets in some deck restrictions. Now these new cards give you some further restrictions, but then some benefits at the same time. And I think this one, the first one here, Guardian's Justice, is probably from what I'm hearing, the most annoying one. So back in the day, everyone used to like to tell me that you're crazy for running 12 set decks. It's never going to work. It's too many cards, you lose your consistency. And then when these were being developed, it was like, oh, now we've got this opportunity to use 12 sets and we're going to give a reserve of 7, and that benefit is just really good. And I knew at the time, and when I was testing these cards, it was powerful, but like you say, people said, nah, it won't catch on. No one wants to run 12 sets. Well, look where we are now. People like running 12 sets, and this is a good one. So these all basically mirror each other. So you got 2 for each faction. So you have and they're all practically the same. So they didn't diverse out too far out from the of the realms of possibility of what you could have for these cards. So you've got your must have 6 of one, 6 of another, or neutrals, and have a reserve of 7. Then you've got your 5 and 5 for your 2 resource, and then you've got your 5 and 5, and then you've got your extra additional refresh of removing a focus from a target unit. And the same thing happens through each card. So I think it was important that they decided that certain ones didn't get certain things. So like Rebels never got the reserve 7, and I think who else didn't get reserve 7? Navy didn't get reserve 7 either. So yeah, they make deck building more interesting, but from what I'm hearing, have they been a good effect on the game? I'm not sure, because I've not been playing and not been heavily involved in like tournaments and stuff. I don't know how much that these cards have caused issue over the last couple of months when they've been in play. So that's something for you guys to decide. But it was an interesting idea that they came out with towards the end of the game, and yeah, look forward to making decks with them. So look at the next set. Take these cards. So some of these have been out for a while, so people know them, but for those that don't, we got the Dr. Aphra set. Now it's great that she was included into this game. She's been becoming a bit of a fan favourite. She has a good comic line in the Vader series. I've not read them, but she's quite a popular character. She's possibly like the new Mara Jade, but without the Force powers. So I don't know. There's something appealing about female characters in Star Wars at the moment, and Dr. Aphra's got it at the moment. So, quickly run through this. This is Rogue Archaeology. So, it's a Sith 5-1, and a reaction. After you play a non-Sith card, place one shield on a target objective, limit once per turn. So, obviously here, you want to be playing this in a mixed affiliated deck if you want to get this benefit. So, I think there's further suggestions during these cards to suggest what you should be mixing that with, but like I say, this game's open, so the realms of possibility are there. So that's Rogue Archaeology. So then we have Dr. Aphra herself, a 4/3, a nice spread of icons, black gun, black tactics, white gun, white bomb character, and as you can see, the first line is scum resources provided a resource match for this card. So they're trying to give you the hint that you want to mix her with into a scum deck, and she, based on her background story, she's all about droids, and she's got an action of during an engagement, focus this unit with 2 focus tokens to put a droid unit from any discard pile into play as a participating unit on your side. If that unit is still in play at the end of the engagement, place it on the bottom of its owner's deck. So that's a great way to recur like some heavy droid units. It's a big cost on Aphra, and she's not elite, so it's going to cause issues of trying to get repeated use out of that. But if we go to like the new affiliation cards, I think this was possibly designed into that to say, right, well, if you're going to pair up her, you're going to probably want this refresh thing to basically that allows her to keep her elite. So I don't know how much fun people have been having with her, but I remember playing. She was a 4, and she'd stay at the back of the table, only come out when she needed to. But the amount of droids she could get into the game when you really didn't want to see some heavy hitting droids could be annoying. And our next droid is a BX series droid commando. So this was a 1 cost, 1 health unit, but during engagement, play this unit from your hand as a participating unit on your side. So this is a surprise defender, or even a surprise attacker when you're putting in a weak unit, and then maybe they don't defend. You can put this into play, and you've got some extra blast. And then on the flip side, you can have a spare defender, so you can put this in after a person has struck, then play this into an engagement, and then they can strike someone. And if you've got other buffing cards that give these guys guns, these surprise commando droids can take out people after they've struck. So there's some use in the chuds. So this was one of the new common resources throughout this throughout the cycle. So these were 2/1 resources that just gave you influence. So that was to help out mitigate some of the issues you might have when you have your objective flop. If you were going to struggle not getting the right resource match, then this can help you out with the influence keyword. And then we got the event card reconstruction. So this is 1 cost, 2 pips, Sith event, return a target droid unit from your discard pile to its owner's hand. So idea being with this one that, yeah, when Aphra puts a droid in and it goes to its owner's deck, you're not going to see that droid for a long time, especially if it's like a key character you've brought in. But then using this one in combo with that, then you can also it's from its discard. So yeah, long time since I played this, so yeah, yeah, I'm sure there's some way. I've just had a bit of a brain freeze there of like how this one's used, but yeah, just recursion of getting droids out of your discard pile. So all in all, not too bad. And then we've got the new fake card. I'll say it's new, but it's allies as necessity. You may target 2 participating units you control that do not share an affiliation. If you do, one gets a gun and one gets a bomb. And I remember during times when I was using this during testing, this you can do some nasty things with this card. Just can get a surprise amount of damage, especially when neutrals counters not matching affiliations. So just within the set, you can pair these two up and you can give one a bomb and one a gun, and then suddenly these units you're putting into engagements can become pretty lethal with that. So that's Rogue Archaeology. So who's up next? Imperial's next. So keeping on with the new canon stuff. So this is immeasurable power. Imperial 5-1. After a trooper unit you control is destroyed, put a unit named Death Trooper into play from your hand. So this must have hopefully Death Troopers in. I think we know that. So character we've got is Director Krennic. Nice artwork there. A 4/3 Imperial, 3 pips, 2 tactics icons, 1 black, 1 white. Character and officer, and we know there's so much things in this game that react off of officer. He's got the elite keyword and reaction. After a phase begins, spend 1 resource to target each unit you control named Death Trooper. Until the end of the phase, each targeted unit gains either elite, shielding, or edge 1, and that's limit once per turn. So he's a good buffing mechanic for the Death Troopers, but he's also a good control unit with his 2 tactics. So another powerful Imperial officer, and on the almost up to the level of Thrawn, but this guy's more, I think, this whole set's going to be probably more trooper dependent. And then we've got 3 Death Troopers, so all in all, if you want to make deck, you can get 6 Death Troopers in. And strangely now, after watching Rogue One, whilst you see these guys, you don't see them too much in action, but I've been playing a lot of Battlefront 2, and these guys are nasty when they get going, and I've been having fun with them. So they have a black gun, white gun, and a bomb. They offer protection to Krennic, so if you get lots of these out, I don't think Krennic's going anywhere. He's staying on the board. And then what he can give these guys is, if you can get your engine running of getting Death Troopers out, then I think you're in a good position to steamroll some people with the amount of damage and control that these guys do. So there's 3 of them. And then just as an added bonus, you've got the resource in the set, assembly area. So 2/1, enhance your player, reduce the cost of the first trooper unit you play each turn by 1. So these can be quite expensive, so you can get these in for 2 cost. Well, one of them in for 2 cost, the first one you play. So having that resource out can really, I think it was seen at the time as the set that could hopefully put troopers back on the map. I'm not sure at the moment if it is at the moment. People will have to let me know. But something nice to play around with. So now we are moving on to the light side sets. So we've got 2 light side sets in this, and we'll leave Rebels to last. We'll start with this one now. We've seen this set. I did a video with Yoda Man when we spoiled the set, so everyone's quite familiar with this one. It's Spirit of the Rebellion. It's a 5/1 smuggler. While this objective has 2 or fewer damage on it, it gains reaction. After you play a non-smuggler unit, your opponent chooses and discards 1 card from his hand. Limit once per turn. So that goes. This plays into that whole smuggler theme that we saw quite a bit during the during the opposition cycle. No, yeah, during the opposition cycle with the Rebels TV series guys, about discarding your opponent's cards and playing into that. So but once again, it says a non-smuggler unit, so it's saying that you probably want to mix and match these guys into different sets. So know about that. Then we have Jin. Unfortunately, the artwork has come into a bit of ridicule. Everyone calls her, I think, is it Crackhead Jin? Or she looks a bit spaced out. But I don't know if many people are getting use out of her. When I've been reading the forums, people say it looked good on paper, but I'm not sure if they're getting the most out of her. Is it that she's too combo-y, that they're struggling to get the combos off that they want? I don't know. So I think I'm going to have to experiment with this to see if I can get her to work. But her icon squad is great for a nice damage unit. 2 black bombs, can't complain with that. She's elite, and then she's got this, what I feel is like really good text, and just opens up how you want to go about deck building. So if you want to go with Jedi, you get the reaction after the first other Jedi unit resolves a strike during this engagement, draw 2 cards. So you got card draw, and then the other reaction is after the first other Rebel unit resolves a strike during this engagement, remove all focus tokens from that unit. And that, I think, is really powerful. And I remember when playing around with this, I mixed this with Cassian, which we'll get to, and there's like a little combo loop you can do, which you can just go back and forth with these two striking. They become quite a powerful pair. But with all the dark side tools out there, I get the feeling people are finding easy ways to stop these two from doing what they need to do. And sometimes it can be hard having getting two powerful characters on the table early and keeping them there when you need all your other support cards. So that's Jin. And then we've got the Crafty Smuggler. He's a 2/2, 2 force icons, and his main thing is art reaction after the force phase begins, remove 1 focus token from this unit. So he's like it's in his name, Crafty Smuggler. I feel like he was designed to sneakily snatch the force if you want to nick it with his 2 force icons. Once again, he's another neutral unit which pairs well with the new fake card, and he's got white gun and white bomb, and then with, like, say, if you get paired with that fake card, I had a time during testing where I could make some neutral units do some crazy things. Whether that's still relevant now, I don't know. But like I say, when I get back into playing some more games, then we'll find out if I can make that work or not. So just like the Dr. Aphra set, this one has the necessary alliances. It's same again, 2/1 with the influence card, so that helps when you're mixing and matching. And then we've got Well Laid Ambush, and I like this card. So it's a 1 cost smuggler event, and it's during engagement, a target non-participating enemy character unit can be damaged by unit damage icons from units you control participating in this engagement. So this is great when they've got a person, they don't want to get involved in the combat, and you've obviously mounted a lot of guns, or maybe you've not mounted a lot of guns, but you maybe have some tricks in your bag, like the fake card that's coming up, and so you could put a weenie in. The dark side might say, I'm not going to bother defending that, it's only 1 bomb or 2 bombs if you get unimposed. Or it might be a weenie that has no bomb at all, and you're just going in for an unopposed hit, and then the dark side's like, nah, I'll take it. Well, then suddenly if he went in and then you played some fake cards and if you managed to get the other neutral other unit in, and then play some fake cards or have some buffs on the board to give these guys extra guns, then this then comes into play. So it's like a 1 cost. So if you can make a unit with some units have 3 guns in an engagement that's not being defended, and suddenly you can just snipe anyone on the on the dark side. So I'd like to think this set as a whole looks really strong, but from the sounds of it, I'm not hearing too much buzz about it. So I'm interested to find out why that is, and when I get back to playing, I will find out. So the last set of this pack is Pushing Back the Empire. I don't know, this one is more commonly. This is one of the more commonly used sets, especially with how much the Guardians of Justice fake card is using. People are pairing a lot of the strong Jedi sets with the strong Rebel sets, especially the strong Rebel sets from this cycle, and this is one of them. So Pushing Back the Empire, after you play a Rebel card, reduce the cost of the next non-Rebel card you play this phase by 1. So any type of cost reduction in a game is always a nice benefit. And you got Cassian Andor. Unfortunately, I don't think anyone likes the art on this, so hopefully I know there's some nice fan-made cards out there to replicate this card. But once again, he's another strong character of all three pips, 2 guns, 2 black guns, 1 black bomb, and a white tax. He's a character leader, and we know Rebel leader decks they're fun to play with. He's elite as well, which is cool. And in reaction, after this unit is focused to strike, remove 1 focus token from a non-Rebel unit. Limit once per turn. So if we go back to Jin, the idea here was, I remember when playing, I did manage to get these 2 to click and do lots of damage, and then especially when you put in well laid ambush, it can become quite nasty. So I feel he's a good character, good to have on the board, especially in these mixed decks. So yeah, I think lots of fun can be had with him. This was the card that did get all the buzz, and there's 2 of them in there. It's the Rebel Saboteur. Unfortunately, when you say Rebel Saboteur, everyone thinks to Imperial Assault, and what they look like in this is different artwork. So it's a bit weird for people who play the multiple games. Let's say it's another weenie with black gun, white bomb. So it's a trooper. Unfortunately, the troopers on the light side there's not too many trooper mechanics there, but these guys have shielding. But their main thing is interrupt. When an opponent triggers an ability on an in-faction card he controls, spend 1 resource and discard this unit from your hand to cancel that ability's effects. So this is giving you the idea that you'd like to just keep one of these in your hand as your sneaky event cancel on anything in-faction that the dark side plays. But it also says triggers when an opponent triggers an ability, so it doesn't just have to be an event. It's can be like Vader's ability, all sort. There's so many on the dark side that this can cancel. That was probably why this was quite. Everyone thought, well, this is definitely what Rebels needed, something that can get back and get them back in the game. And from what I'm hearing, I think that has been happening. So there's 4 of these guys, but another thing I like about these guys is, you don't want these clogging your hand, but they're not a bad unit to have out. I mean, they provide shielding, they've got bombs, and this is another set with allies of necessity. So you can get a deck full of this card, then you should be laughing really. And then you've got Teamwork, an event card, a bit of a weird one. So after the edge stacks are revealed, you gain X plus force icons for your side. For this edge battle, X is the number of different affiliations among cards you control. Now, everyone thinks, well, that's just going to give me like a +2 force card, and if you go tricolour, you might get 3. It's going to be difficult. This one. No, I'm not allowed to give anything away, but might just perk up a bit when the last pack comes out. So see what happens there. But yeah, it's a simple event. If not, it can help snatch a edge battle. But like I say, it's another card in hand that you could be using in that edge battle. Costs a resource. It's, I don't know. So yeah, that's it. I was just looking at the reaction there after you. Yeah, so sometimes I guess if you are in the engagement and you haven't used this yet, you could play Teamwork for one, but then you could get a one cost event of something else played. So I guess Teamwork mixed with World Laid Ambush, you could play that for one and you could get that for free. But like I say, after edge battles and cards in hand, you're gonna need reserve 7 cards to make these work, I think. And that was a lot of the ideas based in the set. So that's the set, and that's the pack. This one's been out for a while now. People have been using it. It's probably the key one to get in terms of getting the affiliation cards. So I'm glad to have now opened it, because now I can officially make some actual mixed decks instead of playing with me playtesting cards. But yeah. So yeah, that's it. Let me know in the comments, or you can post on the Facebook page what you think. Has those who have played it, has it changed since when it first came out? Is it anyone using these guys much anymore? I mean, is Dr. Aphra the thing? Is Trooper Dex a thing? Is Jin getting as much love as she deserves? And is Cassian the key to basically making light side good? Who knows? These are questions that can be answered, and hopefully the community can tell me what's going on. Because, like I say, I've been out of the loop for a while. I got my impressions of what these cards did over a year ago, but now times are different. It's a time of war. Anyway, I know it's a bit rough around the edges for an unboxing, but hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully when I go back over the older stuff, because this is new stuff to me, I'm not sure of its impact, but when I go back over the older sets, hopefully I can reminisce about good things I've done with cards, maybe go over some cards I've never played before, and yeah, go on a nice nostalgia trip. But it's good to get these new packs open, so hopefully then once these are in, get them sleeved up, and then can actually start playing properly again. So hope you enjoyed the video, and keep an eye out for the next one. Thanks.